Hello, my name is Mihir Hassan, and I'm an intern on the XS team at Analysis Prime. Today, we'll be going over Compass, creating a Compass simulation, as well as the different features within Compass. To access Compass, from our homepage, we click on the three dots here, and we scroll down to Compass. We can then create a new simulation. When it comes to a new simulation, we want to select our model, our target measure and account, as well as our filters. So today our model will be Bookstore M Compass. Our target measure will be gross sales. And our account will be gross profit. One thing that is necessary with a Compass simulation is to have a date dimension filter. So you'll have this warning message right here in yellow. Click on our filter. Let's choose our date first. We'll be using the most recent information from this data set, so 2023. And then we're going to do another filter, which will be locations. So we will click headquarters to include all of these locations here. And then we can press OK. We can now name our scenario, provide a description, as well as select our version type. For now, we'll be using our actual data, and our scenario will be called Bookstore Gross Profit. And then we will select Create. One thing about Compass simulations that is really great and very similar to other SAC artifacts is the ability to be able to have public and private scenarios. From the private scenarios section, you can also decide if you want to create a copy of your simulation or delete it. One major thing that allows for an ease of use with Compass is its ability to automatically detect drivers for a chosen KPI. This allows you to start your simulation right away. As we can see here, our drivers are listed in front of us in the middle. In Compass, we can further configure our drivers by selecting or deselecting from a list here. We can scroll down and decide which drivers we want to use in our scenario and press OK. We can also do the same by selecting the three boxes that we see right here, which will show our multi-select checkboxes for drivers. Once selected, we can now see checkboxes on the left side where we can further select and deselect the drivers that we want to use for our scenario. We can also further configure our drivers by clicking on the gear on the right side here. This will open our driver list settings. We can choose if we want our measure, account, filters, baseline, and distribution. You can also further configure by clicking on the sort button here as well. We can press OK. And with our drivers, we can include a value configuration as well, where you have a minimum and a maximum for your scenario, as well as deciding what type of distribution that you want right here. When you click on the button and the arrow, you can choose from normal distribution or a uniform distribution. Due to how easy it is to configure our drivers, we can use them to create what-if scenarios based on different performance fluctuations, and we can categorize them for comparison. This allows for the evaluation of various strategies or the impact of uncontrollable events. These outcomes can be displayed side by side to compare risks and chances. Within Compass, you can configure possible performance fluctuations for different dimensions and different combinations to stimulate their effect on a target. All of this is done without coding. You can change drivers quickly and with ease, which enables a very fast integration of business aspects for risk analysis and allows for transparency for assumptions that are made. For this simulation, we will see what happens when our gross amount for our adult fiction books ranges from $900,000 to $1,500,000. You will get this warning, but that's just so you make sure that there's a value for both the minimum and the maximum. So once that's done, the message will go away. You can then choose your distribution. If you want normal or uniform, we'll do normal for this scenario. And now we can run our scenario. We can either do preview, which is the fastest, medium precision, and then high precision, which is the slowest. So for this simulation, we will do a preview, which is the fastest. So it'll run. Once the scenario is done running, we can now see the impact of distribution and risk context via a graph for each scenario. By default, our pessimistic case is 5%, our realistic case is 90%, and our optimistic case is 5%. Here we can see everything on a graph. And then if we want to change those settings, we can go up here to the right side and click on Case Settings. Here we can change the name of our cases, our percentage, as well as our display color, depending on your business needs. We can also perform an action where we can swap names and colors of two cases that are representing the lowest and highest results. When we are satisfied with our scenario and no longer want to make any other changes, we can save our simulation by going to the left panel here and clicking on the Save Simulation button. We'll be then told that when we save our simulation, the settings can't be changed anymore. We click on Save, name our simulation, Bookstore Gross Profit, then we can add a description. You can click on Save, and that's how you create a simulation. If you want to access the simulation again, we can go back to Compass, and our simulation will be right here. We can also go to our files on the left side here and click on our file folder, and the simulation will be available right here.